What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here with my immediate reaction and full card recap of UFC Qatar, which just took place. Obviously, in the main event, listen, dude, we did it, guys. We are celebrating with ice cream and donut. We beat Dan Hooker. We fucking did it. Great comeback performance from Arman Tsarukyan. Dominant victory, showed every aspect of his skill set, every element of his game. He looked really good in this fight. There's no denying it. There's no like coping about it. I think that Dan Hooker did a good job defending these straight up takedown attempts, but otherwise Arman Tsarukyan outstruck him in this fight. He started out really quick, landing some good leg kicks at the end of his combos. Those were a really big part of the win here, and we'll talk about the other ATT guys as well that used those leg kicks. Arman Tsarukyan also caught him with like a knee up the middle in the clinch, and that rocked Dan Hooker, and he also landed a head kick on the guard that did some damage. They did bump heads, but that didn't really do too much, thankfully. And then Dan Hooker in this fight, like we talked about in the prediction, hey, we went 10-4 predictions. They were fucking goated. I'm a genius. All right, I'm here at 6:52 a.m. I'm a fucking genius, dude. And we said Dan Hooker, when he defends those takedowns, he does jump that guillotine. And Arman Tsarukyan showed that he has the defense to get around that type of threat. The first time in the first round, Dan Hooker jumped the guillotine. Arman Tsarukyan just spun to his back, ended up on top, controlling him for the first round from side control. Didn't really get too much damage in, just got some control in. But then in the second round, that was when we saw the control mixed with the damage. And this is what effective fucking grappling looks like, dude. This is what we're asking for, Jailton Almeida. This is what we're asking for, Valentina Shevchenko. Okay, dude, we're asking for, if you can easily take someone down and control them, land some fucking elbows. Because in this round, Arman Tsarukyan goes for the takedown. Dan Hooker jumps the guillotine. A little bit more tight of an attempt. Starts to kind of cross the arms over. Arman Tsarukyan spins again. Defends it really well. Ends up in the full guard. As soon as he ends up in the full guard, you're wrapped, bro. As soon as Arman Tsarukyan gets in that full guard, you're in trouble. You really are. Because as soon as he gets in the full guard, boom, the elbows are coming over the top. So he landed those over the top, started to damage Dan Hooker. That allowed him to pass to half guard. Then he started landing more punches. Eventually got to the mount with some shoulder pressure on Dan as well. Landed some good shots and then locked up a head and arm choke. Wins the fight via round 2 submission. Very, very dominant, impressive win here from Arman Tsarukyan in the main event. And as for what's next, this is another reason why I'm happy that Arman won. I know people don't like Arman Tsarukyan, but I'm here to tell you right now, I'm happy that my boy won. And you want to know why? Because now there's no fucking excuses. Justin Rufus Gaethje, that's your full legal name, kid. You are fighting Paddy Pimblett. You're not getting a title shot. Go to the back of the fucking queue. You are fighting Paddy Pimblett. And as for Ilio Topuria, Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria, make that fight in January, please. I'm not sitting around waiting for this shit until fucking October next year, dude. I'm not waiting for this shit till fucking July next year, International Fight Week. Make it in January right now. Ilya needs to fight soon. You took no damage in your last fight. I need Ilya versus Arman in fucking January or else I'm going to crash out. But I thank Arman Tsarukyan for clearing up the division very easily. We know what needs to be next. It needs to be him versus Ilya, and it needs to be Paddy versus Rufus ASAP. Very impressive win here for Arman Tsarukyan. Let's move on to the co-main event. Fucking Ian Garry, dude. I've gone out there and I deserve a title shot because I've won a fucking decision against Belal Muhammad right after JDM already did that. How do I know that fucking fake hardcores are gonna glaze Ian Garry for this more than they glaze JD? I'm wearing the t-shirt, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude. Am I wrong? Do you not agree that there's gonna be these fake hardcores that are like, dude, I don't know, man. Ian Garry low-key beats Islam, bro. Defended the takedowns, bro. Dude, Ian Garry low-key is the god beat Islam, dude. Dude, Ian Garry destroys JDM, bro. He's a better grappler. Literally the exact same fight, except none of the, all of the damage that Belal already had was caused by JDM. But this was a good win for me and Garry. I'm just being a JDM fan because people love to do that to my favorite fighters. As soon as someone that I like beats someone, bro, he was washed. As soon as someone else does it, it's a crazy fucking win. But this was a good win for me and Garry. I picked him to win by decision. I thought that this was going to be the outcome. And this is, unfortunately for the Belal Muhammad army, this is what happened to us. It was really the kicks of Ian Garry that won him this fight and the takedown defense. He did a really good job defending takedowns. Started off with the oblique kicks straight away. The jabs from Ian Garry were also a big factor in this fight. There was eye pokes in the first and second round, and that's kind of annoying. The first round, there was 2 eye pokes that kind of stopped the fight for a little bit. But after that, Belal Muhammad landed his right hand a few times. But other than that, it was Garry just jabbing him up on the feet, landing oblique kicks, landing leg kicks, really hard calf kicks. One of them dropped Belal Muhammad in the first round. And unfortunately for Belal, in this fight, the grappling threat was just not there. Like he got deep takedown attempts against the fence. Not really though. Like he could get it. He could get Ian Garry against the fence, but he couldn't even get to his legs. Like he couldn't even really get to underhooks, like double underhooks against him against the cage, bro. Like he couldn't really get deep on takedown attempts. Ian Garry did a great job defending that position against the cage, getting double underhooks against the fence, reversing the clinch, just like we talked about in the prediction video. So I thought Ian Garry won all 3 rounds of this fight. I feel like the second round was probably the closest. There was a 29-28. I'm assuming it was probably from the second round because, I don't, and by the way, with the eye poke in the second round, I don't actually think Ian Garry eye poked him. He literally had 2 fists out, so I don't know why he was throwing a fucking double punch. Bro's coach was like, yo, double up the jab. Bro fucking did this. But he had his fist closed, so I'm not going to hold that against it. And outside of that, like this round was the closest. Belal Muhammad landed some nice right hands. He was getting scrapped. Bro. The thing with Garry, bro, he sucks, bro. I'm literally getting in his face, scrapping with the guy, bro, literally, bro. They were scrapping on the feet. Landed some right hands against Ian Garry, but Ian Garry continued to do a really good job defending the takedowns, moving his head, making Belal miss a little bit, landing his jab, not flow stating like JDM, not cooking like fucking JDM. The kid did all right. Not as good as my boy JDM. Not nowhere near as good as JDM. Nowhere near as, exciting on the feet as my boy JDM, popping the fucking right hand, slipping, elbowing. But, he did all right. He landed some oblique kicks. He landed some leg kicks, Not everybody can go out there and just box with Canelo and piece him up, you know what I mean? Land those elbows. But, no, Ian Garry did a good job. The kicks were really good. The jab was really smart for him, just because he was way faster than Belal. Like I said, I gave it all 3 rounds to Ian Garry. The third round was very scrappy. Ian Garry got a lot more aggressive. He rocked Belal Muhammad with a lead uppercut, followed with the right hand right on the temple. Belal Muhammad showed a very good chin in this fight, because right after that, Ian Garry fucking front kicked this kid in the face. But Belal Muhammad did well. Like, he tried to shoot some takedowns. He couldn't really get him. Garry did a great job, like I said, moving his head, defending the takedowns, reversing those positions. He landed some nice elbows on the break of the clinch as well. And Belal Muhammad, got a little bit more scrappy on the feet once he couldn't get the takedowns. But this was a 3-0 Ian Garry win. Not a shutout, not a domination. Very close rounds all throughout the fight, but I personally scored at 3-0 Ian Garry. And based on performance, would I give Ian Garry a title shot based on this alone? No, I wouldn't, right? Because JDM already did this exact same thing, mate, except it was more exciting, and he caused all the damage Belal. But, right, and you look at the fact that, Michael Morales just finished Sean Brady, Carlos Barthel just finished Leon Edwards. My thing is, Belal Muhammad beat both of those guys, sunned both of them. And I'm just going to say it like it is. I know it's not popular. Ian Garry versus Islam Makhachev is a more exciting fight and a bigger fight name value-wise than Morales versus Makhachev. Nobody knows who Miles Morales is, bro. This guy's best win is fucking Kingpin coming off the couch, dude. Tombstone coming off a fucking KO loss to Prime Peter Parker back in the day. My point is, Michael Morales does not really have the name value. I think the best thing he has going for him is like the zesty memes. I don't know if that's going to be enough to carry you to headlining the White House. Whereas Islam versus Ian Garry, that's a big fight. That's like Khabib versus Conor level, build up for the UFC at least. I think they would go all in on that because they got an Irish guy versus a Dagestani for a belt. You know what I mean? So that to me makes a lot of sense of doing Islam versus Ian Garry. Morales versus Shavkat, undefeated versus undefeated. Protest versus JDM in that Sydney pay-per-view in Australia. 3 rounds, so my boy JDM wins a decision. And Belal versus Oezdemir, bro. But Oezdemir sitting on the sidelines trying to get a title shot. Bro, I posted a thing about it on my Instagram story, but bro, Kamaru Oezdemir sitting on his fucking podcast with Henry. Bro, I'm literally getting chills right now, dude. Saying that he deserves a title shot. You are not getting a title shot, brother. You are behind Ian Garry. You are behind fucking Michael Morales. You're behind Protest right now. You might even be behind Shavkat, bro. And you guys know how much that hurts me to say. But yeah, all in all, good, solid win for Ian Garry. Nothing insane that we didn't already know, I guess. But I think based on name value and the promo that he cut was really good. I think Ian versus Islam should be next. And I think Morales and Shavkat should fight each other, or Morales and Protest should fight each other, and the winner of that should get a title shot, or Belal versus Oezdemir at the same time. If Oezdemir wins that, you give him the shot. That's what I would do with 170, all right? The rest of this card was fucking generational, man. There was so many knockouts on this card. The prelims were great as well. I didn't get to see those. Those were at fucking 1 a.m., but I did catch a couple of the highlights. Featured fight of the night was Volkan Oezdemir sleeping Alonzo Menafield. Just really simple round 1 KO. Just stepped in with the left knee up against the fence. It's a really good move against a shorter opponent, those knees. You can step in, land him to the body. You can land him to the chin as well when they duck down to throw. And that's what Oezdemir did. He stepped in with the left knee, changed stances, boom, right on the chin. And then Menafield was kind of rocked, just covering up against the fence. And Oezdemir, once he started landing those uppercuts, put out Menafield on his feet and got the finish by round 1 finish. Got the finish by round, this is what he does. This is what he does. I don't even have to explain this or go into crazy detail. Volkan Oezdemir KOs a non-top 10 light heavyweight. That's what he does. I'm fully convinced if he fights someone in the top 10 that's really good, he's gonna get chinned in his next fight. I would love Volkan Oezdemir versus Yuri Prohaska. I think that would be, oh no, not Yuri, sorry, Volkan versus Khalil Roundtree. You gotta understand, it's fucking 7 in the morning, bro. But Volkan versus Khalil, that'd be kind of tough. Volkan versus Khalil would actually be a sick fight. I actually don't know who would win that. But yeah, solid, classic Oezdemir fraud check win. Nothing else to say about it. Myktybek Orolbai wins by brutal round 1 knock. I'm so glad that I just turned off my brain. I'm so glad that I just locked in for this prediction, because I was gonna pick Jacko Manson by crafty craftsman decision, and then I was like, nah, fuck it. The sport, it's not complicated. He got chinned. He's gonna get chinned in this fight by Orolbai, who doesn't really chin people, and he got fucking flatlined bad. I'm so glad that I changed my mind, dude. Because Jacko Manson started off with the classic Jacko Manson jab and teep and kind of run, kind of a Sean Strickland-esque type of striking style where he jabs and teeps and kind of moves backwards, except his chin is always up, right? And he's backing out of range. And early on, Orolbai kind of reminded me of Belal on the field. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt that watching Orolbai. I was like, damn, this dude's literally Belal Muhammad 2.0. Same power levels as well, same knockout power. Ian Garry would have got done like that if Belal could have landed clean against his ear. But yeah, dude, Orolbai at first was coming out like Belal Muhammad, changing fucking levels, looking for the overhand. Couldn't really land it that clean, but once he started to change things up and get a little bit more straight and a little bit more accurate with his shots, once I saw that uppercut, you gotta understand, when Jacko Manson puts up that crafty high guard, it's gonna be fucking hard to hit him, okay? But as soon as he put up the high guard and fucking Orolbai throws an uppercut up the middle of it and rocks him, I was like, bro, it's wraps. It's done. It's going to be over. And then backs Jacko Manson up to the fence. And I shit you not, a grazing straight right hand like this. Jacko Manson has died. That's dead ass what happened. The punch, ready, watch this. That's what he got hit with. And he went out cold. So I feel bad for Jacko Manson. It's probably time to call it a career. I'm glad I didn't overthink this, and I picked Orolbai by KO. This was not a good idea for Jacko Manson. Like I said, I feel bad for him. He's a crafty vet. We love Jacko Manson on this channel, but I think it's probably time for him to hang it up. As for Myktybek Orolbai, very impressive win. It's going to be very deceiving. People are going to think he's like a knockout artist now. I would like to see him fight Neil Magny. I'd like to see him fight the Cockroach Goat. These are two forces that have been around since the prehistoric days. Neil Magny's been fraud checking cavemen since fucking 72 BC. This guy's been DOS choking fucking cavemen out. I'm pretty sure this guy's the one that took out Genghis Khan. Neil Magny took out the OG Genghis Khan with a DOS choke. in round 4. He was losing the entire fight. And Myktybek Orolbai, he's been around since the Ice Age. So I think that would be a really sick fight at welterweight, all right? Waldo Cortez. Oh my God, I forgot about this, bro. I forgot about that, though. Hey, I forgot about this, man. Rest in peace, Shamil, guys. Yo, this is such a flex. I was talking to Curtis Blades about this fight. Yeah, I was just chopping it up with Curtis Blades about this fight, you know. Waldo Cortez Acosta, this guy's a fucking problem at heavyweight, man. He comes in on 2 days' notice. He's fighting the scariest, most handsome, most dangerous man in the heavyweight division, Shamil Gaziev, who didn't even dare speak ill on this man's name. He was so irrelevant a year ago. A year ago, Shamil didn't even get asked about it. Shamil was sitting there, good fighter, big guy, good belly, winning some, losing some. And Shamil Gaziev was cocky, bro. He was good. This was dead ass. I wrote down, this is the fat guy version of Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. That's basically what happened. So Shamil is Pavlovich and Waldo is Tom Aspinall. This is the fat guy version of that. Shamil started out aggressive. He was kind of attacking Waldo Cortez Acosta early on, like he's attacking the dessert bar at the buffet. He's smiling. He's fucking walking him down, trying to get him up against the fence. Really aggressive on the front foot. I was kind of surprised. Backed Waldo up to the fence, landed a left hook that seemed to wobble him for a second, and then immediately got countered with, I believe it was a jab. Got sat down for a second, got back up, and you could just see Waldo lining him up for the right hand. From that point, they move around a little bit more on the feet. Shamil's mouth guard starts coming out again. I'm like, oh man, I knew once I saw that mouth guard flopping in and out, I knew this guy was done, right? But then boom, Waldo Cortez Acosta, straight right, puts out my boy Shamil. I felt so bad, dude. Shamil just did this when he fell on the ground. And why did it look like he was wearing a diaper? But like, bro, Shamil's, yeah, I feel bad for Shamil. We love Shamil. We're praying on the King's comeback, all right? You know, this isn't a setback. This is a setup, in the words of Mama Woodley, bro. Shout out Mama Woodley, dude. But it's sad to see Shamil get done like that. But why am I kind of a fan of Waldo Cortez Acosta now? Because showing up on 2 days' notice is BMF shit. It's BMI shit for this guy, but BMF shit as well. The fact that he had to cut, like, bro was the TJ Dillashaw edit, making it to 265 for this fight. But I still respect Waldo. I fuck with the fact that he showed up on short notice and chinned the boy Shamil Gaziev, because not everybody's doing Shamil like that. Rosenstrike couldn't do him like that. So Waldo Cortez Acosta, this guy is a problem, man. I actually am kind of rooting for this guy. I actually think it'd be funny if he won the belt. And it was also very funny to see him put the eye patch on Bisping. I thought that was a nice touch. So as for what should be next, I think Waldo Cortez Acosta called out my boy Curtis Blades. Me and Curtis Blades were discussing this. Listen, man, if this kid wants to get fraud checked by Curtis Blades, let's make it happen. But I think if he genuinely gets his request of fighting soon, I could see the UFC doing a January pay-per-view. Aspinall versus Gane 2. Alexander Volkov versus Cortez Acosta. I think just based on straight matchmaking, Waldo deserves to fight Alexander Volkov next. That's dead ass what I think. You guys know I'm biased. I love Curtis Blades, but I think Waldo deserves a chance to jump ahead of that ranking and fight Alexander Volkov next. That's what I think for everything that he's done in the past 2 fights in a month, saving the UFC, crazy knockouts back to back. The storyline that he has going with Aspinall, I think it's a no-brainer to give this guy a #1 contendership fight. And boom, see if he can get to the belt. So that's what I would do. I would do Waldo versus Volkov on the same card as Aspinall versus Gane. I also wouldn't be mad at seeing Waldo versus Blades, you know. I think that would be a really sick fight. So let's move on, though. Great win for Waldo Cortez Acosta. Opening up the main card. Bro, Kyoji Horiguchi. Oh my God, this is such a great bounce back up to UFC 322. Bro, Horiguchi was putting belt to ass, bro. Look at the total strikes. Oh my God, I haven't seen these strike numbers. Oh my God. Bro, he literally put belt to ass in this fight. He whooped up Tagir Ulanbekov, bro. This was a fucking generational performance from Kyoji Horiguchi. I'm not even trying to glaze, but I literally feel like that Jalen Williams gift of like watching this guy cook. Because the first round, this was when I woke up. I woke up midway through the first round, and it's, you know, kind of low output, moving around. Ulanbekov's using his kicks because his reach, he's longer, he's bigger, you know what I mean? But right away, you could see the speed advantage that Horiguchi had, right? He's able to step in and really put weight into calf kicks. I think that's why they were so effective in this fight, and why you see some fighters really good at using them. Some fighters, they throw them the entire fight. It doesn't do anything. It's all about your pivot step with your front leg when you step into it. And having that reach advantage and, the speed advantage for Horiguchi, he was able to really commit to those kicks and then get out of range really quickly. So he was stepping in big on the calf kicks. He was stepping in, landing the overhand right. Ulanbekov did get a takedown in the first round. Got a little bit of control time, but didn't do any damage. No submission attempts. And Horiguchi did a great job getting back up, got out to the open. And then in round 2 onwards, like I said, literally just whoosh, 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 belt to fucking ass, dude. Beautiful performance. Drop this dude with the calf kick, right? Defends a takedown attempt, ends up on top for the rest of the second round. Once they get back up on the feet, throwing up head kicks on this guy. Horiguchi stepping in with the right hand, moving around, making him miss, chopping the calf, making Ulanbekov kind of walk around like bro was kind of defeated in that second round, right? And then in the third round, Horiguchi just walked him down, man. Steps in, boom, drops him with a big left hook, gets on top, defends the takedown, gets back up in the open, lands a nasty head kick that rocks Tagir Ulanbekov. He kind of ducked into it. To be fair to the guy, he fucking ate it. I know he looks like a fucking mutant, but he fucking ate that shit. So respects to Ulanbekov. Ate that head kick, gets wobbled. Horiguchi follows with a 1-2, drops him, gets on the neck, latches up a rear naked choke, puts him out cold. Puts him out with a rear naked choke. I don't know if it's ridiculous. I don't know if it's glazing to say this, but I don't think I've seen someone beat a Dagestani's ass like this in a long time, bro. I cannot remember the last time. Maybe the last time I can remember was bloody JDM versus fucking Ramazan Ameev, bro. And this is like a mainstream Dagestani. This is a Team Khabib henchman, bro. This guy's a mainstream Team Khabib jobber, bro. This guy's one of the goons of Khabib. And Horiguchi beat his ass, bro. This was a crazy good win. And I don't mean to make it bigger than what it was, which is just a great performance, great comeback from Horiguchi. Great to see. Really fast, really sharp, looked great in every aspect of fighting in this fight. But this is not the only time we've seen a contender from DJ's era versus a contender from Pantoja's era. And with me sitting there going, damn, DJ really is that guy, bro. Like, am I wrong that fucking Tim Elliott smokes Asakura, finishes him, blobs him, sends him up to bantamweight, and now Horiguchi comes in, fights Ulanbekov in the Middle East, one of the biggest weight bullies at flyweight, Team Khabib, Team Islam, everybody's on his side, goes out there, absolutely whoops him, dude. I'm sorry, this is a big W for the Demetrius Johnson fake hardcores at the fucking coffee shop, dude. There's no other way to say it. But yeah, this main card was fucking amazing. This was a great card in general. The prelims had some amazing highlights. Luke Riley flatlined Bogdan Grad. Unfortunately for my Bogdan Grad army, yes, I did pick Bogdan Grad. I don't care. He was doing good. He was getting takedowns. And then Luke Riley nuked him with a left hook. Very impressive victory for Luke Riley. I'm excited to see this guy in the featherweight division. I didn't watch this Nicholas Dalby fight. I don't really care. Maybe it was a banger. Asu Amabayev wins by a guillotine. I did say he was going to win by submission if he got a finish. He did a good job with the grappling. This guy, oh my God, Yakyayev. Listen, bro. I know I hate on light heavyweight, but dude, this guy whipped up a fucking Bobby Knuckles 1-2 head kick. I watched it. I watched the highlight. This guy whips in the span of 30 seconds. You can see the screen, right? It says 33 seconds this fight lasted. This guy, I managed to see a highlight of this guy whipping up a fucking Bobby Knuckles 1-2 head kick. Fucking beautiful. God bless. Great way to start the day. Getting a fucking knockdown off a fucking head kick. And then getting a submission in 30 seconds, bro. Because I remember in my prediction video, I said either he gets a submission straight away or a knockout straight away. This guy decided to get both. So very impressive victory here for Yakyayev. Can't wait to see him fight once a year, all right? Alexandre Topuria beats Beksa Amakhan. The Imakhan title run is unfortunately over, guys. I know we all thought Beksa Imakhan was going to beat Umnan Nurmagomedov. But Alexandre Topuria is fucking clean, dude. Rocked him on the feet. Really accurate with his boxing, really smart with his energy, got takedowns, got control, mixed things up really well. Imran did a good job with the calf kicks. I think he should have gone to those a little bit more. But yeah, very, very impressive win from Alexandre Topuria. I'd love to see him fight Malcolm Wellmaker. I'd like to see him fight Ethan Ewing. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Charles Jourdain or somebody like that. I think there's a lot of fun fights to do with Alexandre Topuria at bantamweight. We beat Shaquem Rock, guys. I got tagged in a lot of memes about this. Yo, bedtime, congrats on the win. Congrats on being 11-0. Thank you, guys. This was a tough fight. You know, Shaquille Rock, bro. He was a tough opponent, man. But we got out there. We got it done. We looked good on the feet as well. We had some good striking. He did a good job defending our takedowns, but we landed good shots on the feet. We outstruck him. And, you know, we had a submission attempt as well, so that's pretty good. Denzel Freeman got the W as well. But all in all, this was a very, very good fight night card. I'm going to say like an 8 out of 10, like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Very good card, top to bottom. Great finishes, great main event. Lot of clarity going forward in the lightweight and welterweight divisions, which I'm very happy about, and a lot of great highlight reels that we're going to be looking back on. So let me know how you guys did in the comments down below. I went 10-4 in predictions on this card, so I'm very happy with that. I'm so happy, guys. Let's go, guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. I kicked my girlfriend out of my room to make this video, so drop a like for that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. Do you see this shit right here, boys? You guys did that. We did it. We did it. So thank you guys for the support. I'll see you in the next video, man. Goodbye.